Welcome, time travelers, to a special mini campaign here on the Aging Journey podcast, where our first GM, other than me, will be running a game in the month of October. Please welcome a brand new cast with CaptainZiggy, Lostariel, Al, and Kepeski. This is a reminder that there may be mature content depicted in our gameplay, but the players and the GM are using safety tools, and all content warnings will be in the description below. I am not your GM for this campaign, TanyaLashea, but I would like to warmly welcome NotQuiteNormal as your GM for this Cthulhu Dark one-shot, The Purple Island. Enjoy the journey.
Awesome. Well, let's get back into it. Welcome back, everyone. To start us off, let's real quick go ahead and introduce yourselves, as well as the character you're going to be playing, just to refresh our audience back at home. We'll start at the top of the lines with Alet.
Okay, my character is Santiago. He's a detective from another country. He's kind of shy. And well, he has an passion for a detective case. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Ziggy, and my character is Benjamin Anderson, the famous author of various ghost stories and novels.
I am Kepeski. I'm playing Otis Wagner, a retired and injured World War II pilot.
Hi, I am Lostariel. I am playing a character called Elaine. She is an entertainer, a singer specifically, and she wants to make the world a better place.
And I am your keeper of secrets for this evening, NotQuiteNormal. I'm here to tell a tale and hopefully not get anyone killed today, but we'll see how it goes. So, last we left off, you all had just barely managed to escape the claws of the beast in the woods. Some are closer scraped than others, with Santiago and Elaine rushing ahead from it as it devoured the siren, Stubbs Riley, with Otis and Benjamin leading the charge away from it. They had just barely managed to escape when they came to an open clearing. How's everyone feeling?
Pain and terror.
Yeah, Benjamin is still quite shaken after all that debacle.
Makes sense. I will say we'll start with Benjamin and Otis. You guys have been rushing through the woods, dodging past trees. I don't know how quickly you're moving or how quickly you're able to traverse the terrain, but seemingly all in a sudden, you come upon a clearing, a large clearing spanning several hundred yards, and you can see out ahead of you buildings.
Shelter?
They look to be suburban houses. You can see a pair of houses. They look like you would just find them out in the New York suburbs back in the 50s, and a chapel, white painted with a pointed steeple.
I'm gonna look at Benjamin. Do you think those are our best bet, or do you think those are gonna be weirder than the woods?
Yes.
What do you mean, yes?
On one hand, with the incoming storm, those are definitely going to be our best bet to hide against it, but after what we saw aboard the remains of the old men, I cannot guarantee that the interiors of those buildings are gonna be exactly what we're used to.
So it sounds to me like that's where you want to head.
It's not like we have any other choices.
Very well.
Where do you want?
We head there.
Where would you want to go first? Straight ahead of you is a small, plain, blue suburban house. Looks like it's got some nice brickwork about around the base, blue painting on the sideboards. and a standard asphalt roof. The porch is painted white.
Otis is heading to whatever the closest is.
All right.
Well, I shall follow him.
All right. You guys are able to make it there easily. You break from the trees. It's weird how such a small clearing is highlighted by just the massive height of these trees, each one standing a good 300 or more feet up. The houses are just normal as any other house you would find. Come up to the porch, and the door's just kind of sitting open. There's a screen shut though.
I suppose we head in.
All right. We'll go back to Santiago and Elaine as you guys enter the house. Santiago and Elaine, you are still in the woods. You've made some distance. You can hear the sound of screaming behind you. They're still singing, but it gets growing quieter. What are you two doing?
So, should we check that?
It sounds to me like moving away from it is probably the best decision at this point. I think we're going the right way.
Okay.
You two takes like another minute or so, but you also break from the cover of the trees and find yourself at the clearing of forest, the clearing in the woods. You can just see Otis and Benjamin entering one of the nearby houses.
I think it would be in our best interest to stick with as many people as possible.
Well, I'm getting, I don't know, tired of these guys. But yeah, we should keep with them.
I know they're not necessarily the most fun conversation, as they're always arguing with each other, but they're kind of all we got right now.
Well, so I have another question for you.
Mhm.
You are in my head, so we can definitely say that you're only in my head.
I think that's safe to say. We asked if they could see me earlier in the boat, and neither of them could.
Okay, so now I am crazy. Okay, yeah, I'm good.
You two head over to the front of the house. You see the doors swing shut behind the other two. Otis and Benjamin, as you enter, you find yourself in a lovely living room. It's nice and quiet. You can hear the sound of the TV over in one corner. And as you look, you see there's a group of figures sitting on the couch.
Benjamin walks over and tries to talk to the figures.
All right.
Hello?
Multiple of them stand up, and you see it's a bunch of kids. They immediately turn to you and start running. Grandpa, Grandpa, you're here!
Wait, Grandpa?
They start clamoring around you. One of them wants to be picked up. It looks like she's a young girl, maybe 4.
Yeah, Benjamin decides to pick her up.
Okay. She just hugs you tight around your neck, squeezing you. You see an elderly lady get up from the couch and start to walk towards you. Oh dear, you're here.
Oh, yes, I am here.
Did you get it?
Get what?
Shh, don't say that so loud. Present. You didn't forget.
Yeah, Benjamin just stands there for being a little bit more and more confused as he just stands silently for a brief moment.
All right. One of the other kids wanders over to Otis, and it's just this little boy, maybe he's 7 or so, wearing a striped T-shirt. Looks up at you. Are you Grandpa's friend?
I'm gonna look at Benjamin, shake my head, and go, "Yeah."
Do you two? Do you work together?
Once in a blue moon.
Ah, nice. It's around this time that the door swings open and Santiago enters from behind, looking a little panicked, a little worse for wear.
Welcome to the party.
Thanks. What is this?
Children.
Benjamin
Yeah, I know, but
Benjamin leans over and whispers Santiago's ear, saying, "These kids think I'm their grandpa. I mean, I do look."
oh, so you are? Yeah, you look like a grandpa for me.
Yeah, I could very well look incredibly similar to the real grandpa.
So, what should we do?
Elaine is giggling with delight in the back of your head as she loves children. She's like, yes, I love it here. Let's just stay here.
I give it like 10 minutes before they start biting ankles or something.
Let's just play along a little longer. They're just kids for now.
Hello. Do you have a name? Yeah, you kid.
So there's a handful of kids. You see, there's a 4-year-old clung around Benjamin's neck. There's a little 7-year-old boy, and it looks like there's maybe like a 12-year-old girl. She's not as excited. She's still on the couch, but she's watching you guys.
Yeah, that girl.
What do you want? What do you mean?
I wanna talk with her.
Okay. Hi. Who are you?
I'm Santiago.
My name's Elsa.
Who are you? Oh, good name. Do you have any idea if there are any more people around here?
Mom and Dad, they're out getting groceries for Joey's birthday party, but shh. Hi. And I think, yeah, I think some of his friends are coming over later too.
So, do you know more people around here?
I mean, there's the Wilkins next door. There's Grandma's friend Beth. She plays chess with. And the child continues to list off on name after name.
Oh, okay. Thanks. It was a good talk.
Yeah. Do you know any more people around here?
Well, only them.
Ah,
Wait, that is your grandpa?
yeah.
What is his name?
Um, his name is Otis, of course.
Okay. Well, you can go and talk with him. Maybe he has been with me all this time, So maybe you are thinking about him, and you haven't talked with him in a long time. So you should, I don't know, take a little conversation with him.
What do you mean? I saw him 2 days ago. He came over for breakfast.
Well, he was with me in a ship, so I don't know if you're. Maybe you're. This is a misunderstanding.
He was in a ship?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And now you're talking a little weird, maybe.
The little girl starts to go over to Benjamin. You were on a ship? What kind of ship was it?
It was the old man. A bit of
Oh?
a legend ship. There were
Like you!
thanks, sweetie. Yeah, the old man was a transport ship to help me come back home, and he even has a few stories that could be good inspiration for my books.
You booked? Oh yeah! Like old war stories, right?
Ghost stories.
Oh, I don't like ghost stories.
But hey, it was ghost stories that helped give you new food.
I guess. I still don't like them.
Mm. Eh, I suppose when you get older, you may or may not like him a bit more.
Maybe, but I don't think I'll ever like ghost stories.
Yeah, they do tap into some pretty deep material.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go watch TV again. Wait, when is the party starting?
Benjamin scratches the back of his head and just is like, "Oh, I'm not quite sure myself."
Okay. Just don't make sure I don't miss the cake, okay, Grandpa?
All right.
And then she goes back to start watching more TV.
Yeah, Benjamin is in a weird mixed spot where he never remembered having a wife, let alone having grandchildren. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like a bad place to be.
What are all of you doing? For the most part, the children have gone back to watching the TV. The elderly lady's still standing there next to you. She looks like she wants to take something from your hands, like she's waiting for you to give her something.
Otis is just kind of looking around for anything that stands out as particularly unusual.
Yeah, me too.
Make an investigation check.
Oh boy. Let's go messed up the roll again.
As you do, as you do.
5.
5. You take a quick check around. A couple things stand out to you. There's a large window out back of the television set. And just strangely enough, where outside was sunny, but like a dark, kind of overcast sunny. Outside, it looks like it's just a brilliant, beautiful sunny day. You can see the blue sky if you look out the window. And then back on the opposite side of the room, above one of the doors leading out, you see like a family painting. It's an elderly gentleman. Doesn't look like Benjamin. Next to him is the wife, who you see here in the room. Multiple sets of grandchildren. What you assume to be their families on either side.
All right. I'm just gonna try and get Benjamin and Santiago's attention and point out how the window is not showing what we just saw outside.
I really, really hope it's just a case of weather clearing up really fast out here.
I'm gonna rain on your parade and say no, it's not.
I mean, any other observations?
There's a family picture back there that shows an old man who's not you.
Well, how similar? Because it has to sort of look like me for these people to confuse me for this, man.
Well, I mean, take a look yourself and tell me if it's a mirror.
Benjamin walks up to the family photo and looks intensively at the old man in the family photo.
Make an investigation check. As always, you can always add an additional die and tempt fate and roll to risk gaining insanity. But as normal, that's always in your hand.
I got a 5.
Got a 5. You look at this man. He's definitely not you. You don't recognize him. He's from your life. He's not someone that you know. But his features are similar. It's not someone that you've seen and known from long ago. You feel like you've seen this face very recently, but it's also different somehow, and you're not sure. You feel the hint of knowing who this is, but not knowing exactly who it is.
Benjamin stutters more and just says, I think I saw this person. I can't quite put it at the tip of my tongue, but sometime recently I feel like I know this person.
Can I take a look at it?
Yeah, go ahead. And Santiago, Elaine, if you guys would like to, you can as well.
3.
3. It's not ringing the bell to you.
I got nothing.
Rolling dice now.
3.
4.
3 and a 4. He seems like an elderly gentleman. You don't recognize him. He doesn't seem to stand out to you. But he's different enough that it's weird that the children think it's Benjamin.
Well, I think this is another case, but slightly different, of our good old friend, the disappearing phone box.
But, well, it's a lot more pleasant than the phone box. I mean,
For
instead of a
now.
war, it's starting off as a loving family.
For now.
I understand that it could turn dark, but given the kind of house this is, I'm not 100% sure or of what logical direction things could possibly go wrong.
Well, here's the thing. This island isn't logical.
I'm gonna take control of the brain here for a sec. Hey, Otis, do you have anything what the little boy might like as a birthday present? Like one of those carvings. That might help us figure more out if we have something to actually give this old woman to progress the plot.
I should have kept like a list. I have a stick I've sharpened, but crashing ships tend to. Yeah, I don't got nothing. I have a sharp stick and a lump of wood that's almost a fish.
Fortunate.
I was in the middle of making a fish when everything went to kablooey.
You should finish the fish and give it to him.
Very well. Is there somewhere to sit?
Well, there's the main couch. There's the couch. You see there's some desks and off to one side of the room. There's a couple doors. One leads parallel to the way you came in, and one's a side door off to the right.
I think I'm just gonna sit down, take a moment to breathe, check my elbow, and given that everything's not dire, start carving.
All right. One of the little 7-year-old boy sees you like pull out your knife and start carving. He's immediately like, "Ooh, what's that?"
A fish?
Ooh. Can you make me a fish?
Is this the boy that his birthday?
I don't believe you know yet. You can make an investigation check
Oh
or just
boy.
ask.
I'm gonna go for the investigation check. I love rolling. 1. I got
You have
nothing.
no idea which of these kids' birthdays it is.
Maybe.
I want to ask the little boy if his name is Joey.
A little 7-year-old?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm Joey. What's your name?
I give him Santiago's name.
Oh, cool.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How old are you today?
Shoot, I don't know. Quite a good deal older than you.
Yeah, that's true. You are old. Then he turns back and continues to watch Otis whittling away.
I nod at Otis to try to signal that yes, that is the little boy whose birthday it is.
It's not gonna change what I do with the fish, but I don't know. I just make sure the boy keeps his hands away from the knife.
He doesn't try to grab at it, but he very much is very interested, at least for like the first half hour, however long it takes you to do it.
Probably like a good 25 minutes more to make a alright fish. I had already started, but
You have his keen interest throughout. Santiago, Elaine, Benjamin, what are you guys doing while he begins to whittle?
Honestly, Benjamin would just hang around the house and just continue to maintain the illusion that he's the grandpa.
All right. The grandma still continues to press you. So, did you get it? Because one of us has to go get it.
I just came from a busy work day. Forgive me that I lost track of what we needed to pick up, but remind me again.
The boat. You know how much you want that boat.
The boat?
Yeah.
Hmm.
The little white and blue one that he wanted. He saw it in the toy store yesterday. At least, yeah, yesterday. And Sarah got on my case saying that he wanted it. So I said you were gonna pick it up. Did you not?
Oh. Yes, that was time I checked. All they had were black and red ones.
Well, you could
Oh,
have at
it's
least
so
picked up
awful.
the black and red one, and then he could have painted it, or you could have painted it.
Yeah, I'm not that good at painting, sweetie.
Just math, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't find the gift for a special day, but
I guess it'll be all right. You said you had a black and red one, or did you get him anything?
well, actually, that Benjamin looks over his shoulder and notice Otis carrying the fish and say, "Well, actually, that's why I brought a few of these over. One of my friends is making something special for him." Eh,
Okay. Well, at least there's something. Look, you keep him entertained. I'm gonna go prepare dinner, okay?
all right.
Thank you. Love you. And then she turns and leaves through the side door.
Benjamin thinks to himself, "Well, thank God, I have a wood carver in this group."
Santiago, Elaine, what are you guys up to?
So you can talk now and they listen to you. Why did you give that kid my name?
I I guess I do have some bit of control. I just really like
Well,
kids.
some. I see. Well, so if that is the case, well, you're doing well. The language and the barrier that I have, I'm just hoping to you guys resolve the case. But you're doing well. You're learning. Maybe you have some of my memories in my head. Well, do you remember something of my life?
Um, no, all my memories are still mine.
Okay. Maybe how to fire a gun, talk Spanish, maybe?
Uh, nope, nothing along those lines. I'm a little bit more observant than I would usually be, but that's about it.
Okay. Um, well, that's weird.
Do you think we should
Anyways,
look around, see if there's anything else we can find in the rest of the
yeah,
house?
yeah, we should.
Normal, I wish to make an investigation check.
Have at it.
A 5.
Nice. The room is, for the most part, as I described. There are 2 ways out of the room. Well, 3. You can go back the way you came, back out to the porch. There's a door opposite of that, which would lead into another room. And then there's a side door, which you assume would lead to the kitchen, as that's where the grandmother went. The children are just sitting on the couch. The 4-year-old sitting on Benjamin's lap. The 7 watching Otis. The girl's just watching TV.
I think we should go through that second door.
Second door, the one leading off to the right into the kitchen?
No,
Oh,
the other one.
all right. The one straight across. And easily done. You cross the room, enter through the other side, and you find yourself in a room of a strangely different atmosphere. It's dark. There are no lights on except for a few candles. It looks to be like a living room. Weirdly enough, very similar to the room that you just left. And when I say dark, it's nighttime dark. It's not a room of closed shutters and closed windows. It's a room, open window. You can hear the sound of crickets outside. And there's a gentleman just sitting at a table in the middle of the room, kind of looking like he's waiting for someone.
Should we try to talk to him?
Yeah, I think so. Do you want to?
I can attempt. Hello, sir. Are you
Okay.
looking for something?
He looks up. Oh, there you are. I wasn't sure when you were going to show up, bud. You see, it's a guy in like his late 40s.
Sorry, got a bit caught up.
I'll bet. Are they keeping you at school late again? Or I guess
yeah, you know how it
college?
is.
I don't know. You got more of an education than I do.
Well,
Look,
I'm glad to have it.
I'm glad you're able to get it. You're well off. At least in your own making. You can see that this gentleman's dark hair with a little gray on the temples. He's got a trimmed beard, gray there too. Wearing nice clothes, well to do, a nice polo, some slacks. Looks like he's been waiting a while.
Do I know him?
You can roll to investigate.
Okay. One.
One, you do not. He's a stranger to you.
Hey, but what's awesome about this is that now I can roll to investigate.
Oh, what was your roll then?
3.
3. You don't recognize him either.
God darn it.
From, I would say, with that investigation, you pick up a couple details about him. You can see that he's got a wedding ring on his left hand, and on his right, he's got like a military ring, one of those ones that they get as a group to celebrate.
Mm.
He starts to turn away. You see he heads over to a cupboard on the side. Look, I know it's late, but care to have a few drinks with your old man?
I think I could stay a while.
That's good. Good. You see, pulls out a couple of glasses, pulls out a big bottle, sets it down on the table, motions for you to sit with him.
I will sit.
So, tell me, how are things going? How's school? I know it's different.
Feels a lot like a bigger elementary school, but nothing I can't handle.
Bigger elementary? I didn't know college was like that. I guess
Surprised me too.
some ways it can be that way. I mean, some of the things that we got up to in my days, it was we had a good time. The father just sits there quietly for a second. You can see that he feels almost uncomfortable. It's kind of the nervous tension of when there are things you want to say, but you don't know how to say them.
I smile, attempting to be comforting, and then say, whatever it is, you can just say it.
Yeah. He starts to pour a couple drinks. He pushes one over to you. Look, I appreciate you coming tonight. I know things haven't always been great.
I shrug. Water under the bridge.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. Hope you know I'm proud of you.
I attempt to look stricken by that and smile more. Thank you. Proud of you too.
Thank you. I tried. I don't know. I tried to help you out best I could. No, I wasn't always there, but
Hey, I turned out all right, didn't I?
that's sure you did. Take after your mother that way. She was the best of both. And then he goes, takes a
Can you
swig of
say,
his drink.
hey, can you try to say my mother's name? Maybe I knew him. Do you wanna try out?
Maybe you should try talking for a bit. You're better at probing for information than I am.
Okay, yeah, I should. Oh, yeah, I remember Laura. She was very good with me, you know?
You see, it's almost like on his face a twitch, but faster than a twitch of confusion. But within the nanosecond of it registering, it's gone, and he nods, and then takes another sip. Yeah, yeah, she was good.
So, yeah, I know. Um, I'm just confused. Do you wanna talk in our language, maybe? Or you just got into English? I don't know. I'm feeling little nostalgia. Oh, nostalgic. Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's all right. It's a good night for nostalgia, and you can see he starts his sentence in English, and then as he talks, it changes to Spanish.
So, why are you here, alone? You are waiting for me?
Yeah, I mean, look, we hadn't talked in a while. Can you blame an old man for wanting to connect with his kid? Well, with everything that's going on, I mean, are you planning on enlisting?
Um, no, not right now. I'm just following a case.
Well, that's good. You stay safe, okay? The world's going through scary stuff, and I want to see you again. 'Cause I love you.
Thank you. I love you too. Wait, do you know any of the people in the other room?
Other room? I mean, it's just me here right now.
Yeah, they were expecting to celebrate a party for a kid.
You see confusion comes across his face, kind of sets down the drink. I'm not sure. Are you talking about the Wilkins boy? I think he had a birthday party like last week or something, but I don't know what you mean.
Um, yeah, but he's on the other room. Don't you want to check that out?
What you mean? That's just the porch out there.
Can I walk to the door and watch again to the other room?
Yeah, you get up, walk out, and yeah, there's another room there. Door closes behind you as you leave.
It's the same room as
Yeah.
before? Okay. Benjamin, Otis?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't you want to check out something with me, in the other room?
I'd like cast a quick glance at Benjamin, like, oh, he found something. Sure.
Okay, so listen, I walked through that door and I found a guy who was, I never knew him, but he was talking with me as if we knew all life along. So it's weird. But, uh, do you want to talk with him?
You know,
Maybe one of you know him.
I highly doubt it, but I can give it a try.
I don't expect much success either.
I suppose I'll go into the room.
All right. Otis, you head in. Is there anyone else following?
I suppose
Yeah,
I suppose I would follow.
Johnny, as Otis leaves, is like, "Oh, can I hold it?" Definitely looking at your knife.
I'm afraid not. You're a little too young for these things.
Oh,
Well, maybe when you're older, you would learn how to use one without hurting yourself.
boy, but I am older. I'm 8
Not
now.
come back when you're at least 12.
Um, you see the 12-year-old, like she perks up, like, huh?
Nothing you need to worry about, and I'm going in the other room.
All right. You enter into the other room. Benjamin comes in behind you. You see just like I described before, not like a middle-aged gentleman, maybe in his 40s or 50s. gray hair on
So
the side of
about
his
as old
head.
as Otis.
Literally, yeah, right around there. In between you and Otis, I would say. Looks up. He's got a drink on the table. He kind of squints weirdly for a second. Oh, you're back. Who's this you brought with you? And he's talking to you, Otis.
Friends.
Oh, from college?
Sure.
All right. I can get another cup if you want.
I look at Benjamin like, you want something?
I'm good.
He's
You
good.
sure? It's good.
No, thank you.
All right. He turns to you, Otis. Look, Lear, could we get a minute? Just the two of us?
And I look to Benjamin like, you heard the man.
Uh, okay. Benjamin steps forward to confront the man.
He turns to you as you approach him. Look, I just need to talk to my son for a second. Could maybe I get you to step out into we have the game room off to the side? Points out to a room behind him.
Yeah, Benjamin slowly looks away, though they will also trying to examine his physical features to see if he's anyone familiar.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Three.
Doesn't stand out. You don't recognize him.
Well, then Benjamin simply goes to the corner of the room.
He nods appreciatively and then turns back to Otis. Sit down, have a drink. I assume you won't be staying long.
No, always more business to attend to.
I see. College keeping you busy, I guess?
Yeah, constant work and professors and such.
Yeah, well, I assume they're taking notice of you, my bright boy.
You'd hope so, but big school, lots of people.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, but you're smart. And, well, in these times, smart people get noticed. Look, I
That's a
didn't
little
call you here to
awkward.
be a downer or anything. I just wanted to say hi.
Oh, hello. I'm gonna take a drink.
He takes that as a cue to take a sip as well. It's good stuff. That's the bottle you got me, I think, last year.
Been that long?
Yeah. Yes. Look, I don't mean to keep you. If you have places to be, go ahead.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna stand up. Do I recognize him?
Make an observation check or an investigation.
Oh, lordy, lordy. 4.
You can tell he's former military. You don't recognize any features. You feel like maybe you should, but you don't.
It was nice checking in, and I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, good seeing you. You see he just kind of looks glumly into his cup. I take it you head back into the living room?
Yeah.
All right. You go in, you find it empty except for the kids there. We're going to go back to Santiago. As you follow the others into the room, you hear a small voice in the back of your head. Elaine, it feels like it's sitting next to you. It's quiet, but it says, "No, not this time." And as you open the door, following behind Benjamin and Otis, you find yourself in the foyer of a church. Pews spread out in front of you, an empty pulpit. You can hear the sound of someone crying up ahead.
That was weird. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Sounded like it was right next to me. But I didn't see anyone.
Next to you? How?
In your head, that voice that said not this time sounded like it was right next to me, like it was sitting next to me. I didn't even know I had a physical
Oh,
space taken up in here.
yeah, I didn't knew it too.
Person looks
This is
sad.
confusing. Yeah. What shall we do?
I think this was probably a funeral.
Do you want to check who is the funeral?
We could go see what she's upset about. Or what they're upset about.
Mm, yeah. Ah, that is what I was talking about. Yeah, we should.
Alright, so sounds like we're walking and seeing if we can find where the crying is coming from.
You see, as you move into the church, a figure sitting up ahead at the front, just his hands covering his face, head bent down. It's dark. You could guess that it might be overcast outside. You hear the sound of wind mixed with tears. You can see that it's a young man, maybe in his late 20s, early 30s, just crying.
How well do you handle emotions, Santiago?
I think that I can handle good, but I don't know if I want to talk with him.
I'll do it if you don't want to.
Yeah, you can go.
Alright, I am gonna go sit down next to the crying man and well, I don't know who I am to this person yet. I won't put a hand on his shoulder. But I want to go sit next to him.
He just doesn't seem to register your arrival. Just continues to cry. Doesn't look like he's going to stop.
I will softly clear my throat.
He takes a deep intake of breath, noticing you for the first time. Sorry. Sorry. I must be a mess.
I sigh. No, it's okay. Everybody has their reasons to cry, especially these days.
Just didn't expect. I guess no one does, but why? Why do we lose people?
Because heaven wants them back. Usually people too good for this world, unfortunately.
I'm gonna miss them.
Always. But it gets better. I want to roll an investigation check. I want to see if I know who this is.
Yeah, go ahead. A 5. There is no face that you can conjure up to him. There's an echo in Santiago's brain. You can feel it. You feel that he's seen this face somewhere. But as you try to figure out who this is, you hear that voice in your head again, sitting there next to you quietly this time. Why do we have to come back here? It's no fun reliving old memories.
I speak to Santiago. Ah. So maybe you know him.
Maybe. I don't know. I think that I know him, but I don't know where or why or who. He sounds broken.
He does. Very upset.
Anyways, you do good. You know how to handle emotions.
I will look back at him and ask, if you don't mind me asking, who is it that you lost?
Maybe that will be, I don't know, rude, or he could take it that bad. All of these places, um, they look if they become to these places. So maybe it will be a bad thing if we like try to guess who is this. But we haven't tried, so I don't know. It's your decision.
I will ask him his name instead. So I'm gonna ask the guy's name.
Yeah.
He rubs his face, clean from some of the tears. I'm I'm Lear. Lear, and as he goes to say his last name, you feel it covered up. He says it out loud, but the words disappear before you can hear them.
Hmm. It's nice to meet you, Lear.
Are you one of his friends, or just here to take in the sights?
Find myself often where there is grief. I'm here to help.
Thank you, I guess. I'll be okay. I just gotta get used to it. I just wish I could have been there, you know?
I want to do an investigation check of like the surrounding area. If there's any like clues that would give me like a name or for the whatever procession of the funeral was, or like anything.
Okay. Yeah, roll an investigation check.
That's what I'm doing. A 3.
3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. You can see he's got a military bag on the ground. And at a closer inspection, now that you're sitting next to him, you see he's wearing a military uniform. But outside of that, it's dark. You're not able to make any details about the church itself.
It's rude. Okay. Are you thinking about how to proceed?
Can I make an investigation check too?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm
3.
afraid you only see the same thing.
Okay.
As you two are there, comforting Lear, we're gonna go back to Otis and Benjamin. You guys have made your way back into the living room. Santiago's not there. The rest of the family is.
Did you see where Santiago went?
No, I haven't.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna look around for Santiago.
It's easy enough to do. I don't think you need an investigation check. It's a small room, and Santiago's not there.
I'm gonna go through the other door, then.
The door back outside, or the door off to the your left now.
The left.
You go through that door there. It opens up into what you assume to be like a library, because only libraries have so many books. You find yourself standing in between two aisles, books on their shelves on either side. You can see like a dark gray light filtering in overhead. The roof is massive.
Oh, this building's weird.
Yeah, Benjamin turns around to peek through the door and say, "Oh, it is quite peculiar."
This is more of a use space. This is books.
Benjamin walks to the room and say, "Well, I am an author, though I need to check fairly if it has any of my novels on here."
Why do you have to check if they have your books?
Yeah, but I just want to make sure people get to know and read my stories.
We are on a insane island, and you are concerned about your book's popularity.
Sorry, a primal instinct every time I see a place like this, real or no.
Do
And
you
besides, it's
dream of your own books?
well, if I contextualize every scary thing that pops in my mind as a potential book idea, it helps prevent me from coming terrified or insane.
Whatever. I'm gonna go outside and see if I can find Santiago there.
All right.
Stay in touch, I suppose. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
head outside to look for Santiago and leave Ben in the library.
We will follow up with you in a second. As Otis leaves, the door shuts behind him. Benjamin, you find yourself just in the library. Books on either side. It's a tight little alley. Looks like maybe a back room or something. Or off in the back corner.
Yeah. Benjamin walks to the room looking at the books with a minor bit of concern that in all the books he's written, he knows that when somebody is all alone in a mysterious place, that's where the worst usually happens.
Mm. Make an investigation check.
5.
Nice. It seems like as you wander down the aisle, most of the books relate to physics, mathematics, gravitational pull, just scientific subjects of a wide variety. You step out of the aisle there and you find that the opposite wall, you were in a back corner. It's this wide open window, um, beautifully pictured with a brilliant shape of a dragon fighting a knight emblazoned across it. You can see that it's a wide open area. There's a lady sitting like underneath behind a desk with the window backdropping her. And you can see it, yeah, it just spans outward, rows and rows of bookshelves.
Yeah. Yeah, Benjamin just keeps looking throughout out the library and he finds himself a little lost within all the novels.
Um, I take it you're looking for your books in particular?
Well, yeah.
It doesn't take you long to find them. You're scrolling down what seems to be a lane of various authors, most about theoretical physics. And then you find one of your books just sitting there. What would it be called?
Uh, yes. House of Moonlight.
You find it sitting there next to the theory of gravitational pulls on solar objects.
Wait, what is my fictional supernatural story doing in a line of scientific textbooks? Benjamin picks up the copy of the book in question and it just takes a second to just focus on how weird it is doing here.
Make an investigation check.
Ooh, a 7.
7. You flip it open, and immediately as you're thumbing through it, you can see that it's your book. But It's written as if it was like a second-hand you. Like you through a proxy author who changed a word here and there. You can see that some of the details are a little wrong. You can feel it in your hand. The weight's different than a normal copy of your book. As you glance through it, you catch just over the top of it another copy of your book. Different book, and then another and another. And you can see that they just spread out into the distance. And with a 7, where once was a copy of gravitational pull on celestial bodies, there's another one of your books.
Benjamin is really weirded out of all these textbooks turning into copies of his novels. He tries taking a look at some of the other shelves above, below, left, right to see if this weird shifting sensation is happening to those shelves.
You look up, you grab a book, and you watch as the name rewrites itself. What's another one of your stories?
Shire of the Forest.
What's it about?
About a land and development company stumbling upon on a cursed woods that they bought. And finding history of a supernatural phenomenon in the forest inside the peculiar natural shrine.
You watch as your tale rewrites the book before it. You can see the text scroll across it quickly at dizzying speed. And you can see it happening all across the shelves. As you look up, the names on the ridges of the books is blurring, changing, and rewriting.
Benjamin walks around, speed walks around the library, notice that he's for sure noticing that this phenomenon will be following him, and he even looks at the big window with the knight and the dragon again.
You watch as the glass of the window shifts colors slightly. It changes from a red dragon to white. And then the wings of the dragon stretch out and change into that of plane wing. And now it resembles an airplane crashing.
That's the story that I was trying to write aboard the Old Man. Yeah, Benjamin just sort of curls up and just taking all this in, and being incredibly creeped out by this phenomenon. And perhaps goes around and asks the lady at the desk about the sudden increase in copies of his novels and such, while trying to pass it off as something a bit more normal, but it's very difficult for him right now.
You go over to her, and she looks up to you and smiles. Ah, welcome, Mr. Van. And her expression starts to shift. And her face goes slack. And you watch as the features change. The clothes shift. No longer is it a nice, well-to-do dress, but a pilot's outfit. His face is slack now. Bullet holes are riddling him. You can see blood in his chest, over his heart, over his lungs, a shot in the arm, just lying back. You hear... Yeah, go ahead.
Is with the face feature shifting, does it shift into a face I recognize?
You don't recognize it. You hear a sound, quiet as if it's distant, booming, popping, a blend of the two. Was Benjamin ever close to military lines?
He probably saw all glimpses of the larger explosions from miles over, but he hasn't been too close to a battlefield.
You don't recognize them. They're not the sound of artillery fire. They're not the sound of bullets. But they are sound of a weapon somewhere.
Yeah, that sound is concerning to Benjamin. After a quick look around, and now with him most likely not seeing a logical source of where that weapon sound may be, he's basically slowly creeping his way back out to the door where he came into this place.
All right. You creep away. You can see clouds begin to cover the outside of the window. The bright light that was coming through is growing dark. You see shadows begin to creep out across from the bookshelves. The sound of popping is repetitive, growing faster and faster, and then stopping, and then growing faster and faster, and stopping again. It's growing dark in the library.
Yeah, Benjamin's heart starts to race as what's slow creeping is him just him booking it out of there. No pun intended.
Roll a sanity check for me.
Do I just roll 1d6, 2d6?
It's 1d6. If you roll above your level of sanity, you will gain another one.
Just one.
You rolled a 1? That's good. I believe your sanity was at what, 2?
Yes.
So you're good. How do you keep it together?
As stated before, as he's going out, when he goes into those more quiet corners, he uses his author mind to just imagine how to spin it into some kind of next story to write, right? As contextualizing these sort of traumatic events as something to write fiction about, as opposed to a real thing to be scared about makes a really good coping mechanism.
Sounds like you've picked a good career choice then.
Mm-hmm.
As you move to exit the library, we will go back to Santiago. And Otis, as he opens the door and finds himself standing in a dark, open church foyer. You're standing behind a podium. You're a little elevated up on a stage. You can see out over the crowd, and 2 figures sitting down on the front pew.
Is one of them Santiago?
It is.
And then I'm gonna head over there.
Do we notice that he's come in?
I believe so. Would you be paying more attention to Lear or to your surroundings?
I would definitely be paying more attention to Lear.
Santiago, what about you?
I'm paying attention to my surroundings.
I would say you see someone come in from the other behind the podium, shut it behind them. Elaine, you're still focusing on Lear.
Okay, does that guy doesn't see us, Otis?
He doesn't seem to register his arrival.
Do you see it too?
I look up after hearing Santiago as my attention has been directed, and I'm like, oh, it's Otis.
I think I'm just
I
gonna.
wave.
Otis gives like a half wave back and walks over. What's the deal with this place?
I grimace. There was just a funeral here.
Anyone we know?
Anyone vaguely familiar, but we still don't know who the funeral was for. I have not asked.
Found a library in the house. I left Benny in there last time.
This is getting stranger and stranger.
Hmm. What do you think the next move should be? Think we should stay here and wait for the storm to come through, or
Do you know anyone by the name of Lear?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
At the mention of his name, Lear looks up. Who are you talking? Did you say my name?
Yeah, sorry, I was just asking my friend if he knew you.
He kind of looks puzzled. You seen ghosts now too?
Oh boy, can he see me?
So it's just me and you in this room. That's all you see.
I, I, I mean, and you see him look confused for a second, and then blinks his eyes and looks up over at us. Oh, don't worry, Father. I'll be leaving soon.
What? Hmm? What?
I won't hold you up too much further. I thank you for letting me do what had to be done, I guess.
No problem.
And thank you. I don't think I got your name.
Not of particular importance, but Santiago.
Thank you. It's good to have someone around. I guess I better be going. Thank you. And he starts to get up and leave.
Look up at Otis. Man, this just keeps getting weirder.
I know, right? I just walked out of the house. I don't know how I got here.
And I was walking back into the living room, and then it wasn't the living room, it was here.
Oh, I don't like that.
So not only do the doors not all go the same place, they switch places. They, like, teleport. What is this?
I don't know. I think we should go get Benny, see what he has to say about the library. Or at least try to go get Benny. And then we'll plan our next step together.
Sounds good. Regrouping.
Yes. I'm gonna find a door.
There's one ahead of you and one behind you.
I'll go for the behind me one.
You turn around, head back towards the pew. There's a peal of thunder, a flash of lightning out the window. Oh, just roll a sanity check for me.
Oh, I do love these. 5. Let's go.
You gain another one. As we're Santiago and Elaine, you hear the sound of thunder and the flash of lightning. Otis, you see the flash of fire and hear the sound of an explosion. And there and then it's gone. How do you react?
Is explosion like a bomb? Or like a flak cannon? Or is it just fire
It's
and loud?
reminiscent of a flat cannon. And for an instant, you feel shrapnel, and then it's gone.
Otis just short of has a heart attack. I'm sure he fully falls over. His breathing skyrockets as well as his heartbeat, and he's just like, "Oh my sweet baby G Christ!" He's also gonna check to see if he was actually hurt by the flak cannon.
You're able to check yourself over. You don't feel any pain. Not anymore. There was for a moment, but there's no blood.
We gotta get out of this godforsaken place. And Otis is going to run for the door.
Those were following in immense confusion.
As you two follow, I would like both of you to roll a sanity check for me.
Oh no.
Six.
Ooh. I'm afraid you will gain one insanity as well. 2. That would be a good roll. However, I don't believe you gained any insanity, so you will gain one as well.
Gosh dang it.
As you both turn to follow, the voice pipes up back in the side of your head. We're all staying here too long. We can't stay here. We can't stay here. How do both of you react?
Ooh, I don't like that. That's not good. There's something in here that knows something we don't, and I'm not a fan of it.
Well, yeah. Did you hear it too, right?
Yeah, I think at this rate I'm definitely not the only one in your head.
Oh, please don't. Anyways, what? Why she doesn't want to stay here anymore? What does that mean?
I don't know, but I don't like it, and I think we're gonna follow Otis the heck out of this church.
As
Yeah, we should.
as you all make your way out of the church, we will go ahead and take our break and come back to this after like 5 or 10 minutes or so.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, I will see you guys in 5 minutes. All right. I'm ready when everyone else is.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I exist.
Groovy.
We're all just waiting on Ally. We'll get started when he's here. Or if he's here and muted, that also works too.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. All right. Let's pick up with Otis. You step out of the church and find yourself on a tarmac. There's people moving around all over the place. It looks like it's very busy. You can see hangars and planes. There's motion everywhere.
Do I recognize this base or tarmac?
You will roll an investigation for me.
No. Can't wait to roll like another one. 4. It's my
4.
1. Let's go.
You can easily see that there are buildings you recognize and buildings you don't. There's a hangar that you know, then there's a hangar next to it that you are sure wasn't next to the other one. You see a plane that's familiar, but then there's also a larger carrier plane that's not familiar. It's a mix mash of things that are strange and comforting. or maybe not.
Is there anyone? You already said there's people around. I'm gonna go to one of the buildings I recognize.
Okay. You start to head that way. A group of soldiers comes out. You enter in. What building would you say you would go for?
I would go if I can see the one that I usually used to have my plane in.
Okay.
So probably a maintenance shed, I suppose, garage.
You go over to one of the nearby hangars. Entering in, you find that the lights are on. People are moving it around in here. You see a group, like 3 planes or so. You recognize one of them. The other 2 aren't familiar. One's definitely your, what was it, a bomber you flew in, or was it a fighter?
It was a bomber.
Bomber. You recognize it. You see a group of men huddled outside of it.
I'm gonna head over to them.
All right. You see it's a group of wide variety of people. There's multiple pilots. There's some men in military like officers' uniforms. A pair of scientists standing off to one side.
I'm gonna walk over and be like, "What's going on, boys?"
They don't seem to notice you for a second. And then one of the officers turned to you. Ah, Wagner, you're here. You about ready to take these boys up?
Soon. I just want to do some final checks on old Spider here.
Alright. Now make sure she's in ship shape. We need this to go smoothly. I have a lot ready on
Alright.
this one.
Of course. I'm gonna somewhat check my plane, but mostly just keep looking around, trying to get a grasp on what's going on.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, lordy. A 5.
5. You can feel the oddity of this in the air. Your plane seems to be all right. As you look around, you recognize multiple figures in the crowd. You recognize one of your co-pilots standing among the men. You recognize your commanding officer having a chat with 2 scientists. You recognize the scientists. One's an elder gentleman. You saw his photo in the living room. The other is a young man who you had seen crying in the chapel.
I'm gonna. You said they're talking?
Yes.
I'm gonna try and eavesdrop a little while still pretending to be checking out my plane.
Make another investigation check.
Oh, lordy. Oh, 1.
A 1. You go over to listen in. What would you do if someone reached over and grabbed your shoulder?
Probably jump half a foot in the air and maybe swing for a backhand.
All right. Do you have any intention to connect?
Yes and no. It's more of just a knee-jerk reaction. So I'm swinging with the intent to hit something, but without any, how do I put this, focus on it.
You swing back. The man stumbles backward for a second. You see he's wearing an officer's uniform. But but you recognize the face, and he wasn't an officer when you met him. It's Byron. His features are gruff, a little torn up. You don't see any blood. Hey man, are you doing all right?
Yeah, Byron. What are you doing here?
I'm just getting ready. We have to check the fuel. There were some issues with one of the fuel tanks last run, right?
Yeah, but I thought you were stationed somewhere else.
No, I've been with you, man. Last, 2 years now? Come on, we
Sure.
gotta hurry up. We don't want any of the bigwigs getting on our ass.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll check these fuel lines. You go check by the tank, make sure the connections are all good.
Of course, of course. I'm gonna go check that. I'm gonna keep an eye open for another door.
Leading into the plane or leading where? Oh, or yeah. You
Just
see,
any door.
there are many doors. All the hangars have doors. There's doors leading into the plane. Most of them are open, although you can see that some are preparing to launch.
I guess I'm gonna just get the plane ready and get in, I guess.
All right. You perform your basic ground functions, the maintenance you need to. You hear the officers call out, tell everyone to start loading up and preparing for takeoff. People rush to and from the plane. You see the scientists load up. One of the officers motions to you, "Get on board, we gotta get going."
I get on board.
As you approach, you start to climb up the gangplank leading inside to the cockpit. There is a flash of light, an explosion of pain. You feel yourself losing contact with the ground underneath you. Where does your brain go in this moment?
Likely pure shock, but a slice of I'm assuming the plane exploded or something exploded.
You find yourself sitting in the cockpit. You can feel the rattle of the plane moving underneath you. You see clouds looming below, dark purple in color. You hear the zipping sound of flak fire. You're too far away to hear the thudding, but you can see the puff of shrapnel as they explode around you.
This is pure panic. Otis is not it. Just no. That's the best way I can describe it. Like, this is exactly where he was when everything went wrong. And now things are wronger because there's the purple clouds. And he
You
just
watch
doesn't know what to do.
as one of the AI shots explodes nearby in your field of vision. You see the shrapnel spray out, and you watch as the core of this shot, the cloud wisp into the shape of a person for a second, and then fly apart and explode like normal. You watch as these other flak cannon fires shoot up into the sky, explode into the shape of a person, and fly apart. Each one, each figure taking another step closer and closer.
I'm gonna try and fly the plane away from them.
Okay. Roll a sanity check.
Oh no. Otis is gonna die. 3.
3.
We're good.
You manage to hold yourself together. How do you steer the plane away? How do you hold yourself together?
I've been here before, mostly. So this isn't wholly new. And I guess part of it is training takes over, and he just tilts the plane the opposite direction of the black person.
You pull away and up, and you see clouds nearby loom closer to you, and then you see the shape of a plane, white in color, blue surrounding it, and you crash through it. Benjamin, as you turn to leave, you've moved over to the door, you've put your hand on the knob, and a thundering crash resounds behind you, and you feel the bookshelves around you shake, and books fall off the shelves, and one of them topples over. Make a sanity check for me.
Oh, it. 3.
3. You were at 3? Or were you at 2?
I'm at 2.
You're at 2. You go up 1. How does panic seize your heart?
Yeah, basically, the flare fight's response is activated, seeing the bookshelf almost squish him like a pancake. Like, before, it was easy to write off his material for fiction when he just sees the shadows and all this stuff around him, but when he physically felt the storm and the bookshelf almost kill him, that's a whole nother level.
Do you turn and run?
Yeah, I run. Running.
Slamming open the door, shutting it behind you. We'll go back to Santiago and Elaine. You open the door and leave the church. And you find a courtyard. It's quiet. You can see the street lamps. It's dark. Santiago, what's an average night in Colombia like?
Usually it's quiet. Um, it's cloud. It has very cloudly. Yeah, nothing more.
What's the sounds usually like? Is it like a normal city sound? How would you describe it?
Uh, yeah, it's normal city sound. Um, Sometimes at certain times, the church
Hmm.
takes the sound of a bell.
As you leave the church and step into the courtyard, you can hear a bell ringing out. And then it dings, dong, 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 dong 5 times. And then it grows quiet. And there's no sounds of the street. There's no people. But as you step out into this courtyard, you can see what looks to be a crime scene. There are officers milling around, people talking to each other. One officer is inspecting the body lying on the ground, and it's all silent.
Can I talk to an officer?
Sure, go ahead.
Hello. What happened?
The officer ignores you, doesn't respond. You can see him stand up, look to another officer, shake his head, and walk over to her.
Can I check the scene of the crime?
Yeah? Roll an investigation check. 5 and a 4?
5.
Nice, 5. There's a whispering that returns. It's not the voice you've been hearing. It's the voices you heard. The victims of crimes rattling off their crime scene. The descriptions. The assumed modus of operandi. It's just one voice. Young, male, describing his demise. They're all facts that you know very well.
Who is this guy?
It was one of the first victims. There was very little evidence. What would you say Santiago knows about them?
Maybe it's his friend.
Your mentor?
Yeah.
You see him face down. You can hear his voice describing the facts. Roll a sanity for him.
Okay. 6.
6. You gain one more. What's that put you up to? Are you at?
Wait, sorry.
You will gain one more insanity from that. Does that put you up to a 2 or a 3?
I think that is a 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
You feel this weight on your shoulders. You feel the crushing, all that time it took, everything that's led you here, and you can feel it weighing you down. Elaine, you can feel this, but like an observer. You can see the weight weighing down on Santiago. You don't feel it. You don't share the same life that he had.
I'm probably worried and will ask if he's okay. Hey, are you all right?
This voice, this guy, he was my friend. This is the beginning of all these cases and why I am here. It's just so frustrating.
Mm.
I need to talk with him once more.
As you ask to talk to him, you feel wind pulling at you both. You see this smoke billowing up from the ground, vicious and thick and purple. It's unnatural, and you can feel it pull at you. You hear the other voice in your head saying, "We don't have time. We can't stay here. We need to go." And then you feel it pull away for a second, like it's couldn't hold on, and like the wind is ripping at it. And then the scene is changed. And you're sitting in an office, and the man who was on the ground is now sitting in a chair across from you.
It looks like you got to be careful what you wish for.
No, I don't know what even is real or not. Uh, do you wanna talk with him? And I'm afraid.
I don't know him.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to just get caught by disillusions because this can't be real.
Hard to decipher what's real.
The man looks up to you from working on some paperwork, and he gives you a slight smile. "So, do you think you'll be able to take it? Do you think you can do this?"
Yeah, I think.
Good. Good. I think you can. You are a smart boy. Far smarter than I was at your age.
Well, I won't say that. Anyways, can you remember what I'm going to do? I'm just a little sleepy right now.
I don't know what you're going to do. I know you're going to help me with my investigations, and we are going to catch this son of a...
Oh, yeah, about that. I want to help you.
I would expect nothing less. Don't worry, we'll catch him.
Hope so.
I have...
Um,
It's... Go ahead.
no, you can go.
No, after you.
Thanks. It's good to see you again. You're special. I don't know.
Well, thank you. You are pretty special too.
Um, if ever one day something happens to one of us, uh, the other one is going to be always with the memory of the other one. Do you want to make a promise?
Absolutely. I don't think I could ever forget you.
It's always nice to talk with you.
Good to see you too. Do you want to grab lunch sometime soon? It's almost time.
Yeah. What do you want to get?
What's something that you guys commonly went out for?
Um, maybe arepas.
Arepas?
Yeah, yeah. It's difficult.
I'll try my best.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to go grab some arepas.
Yeah, sounds good.
Lead the way.
As always.
Points to the door to his office.
So tell me, how has been your family? Everything's okay?
Yeah, they're growing up so fast.
I know.
Aye.
Um. Anyways, do you have any clue of this guy who we are searching for?
Well, we believe it to be a woman. Well, not sure how she does it, but um, well, it's usually around musicians of some kind. So that's the trail I'm chasing.
I see. So, what is the next step to catch this guy?
I'm going to investigate over downtown, as they say. There are some leads I want to follow. As for you, I would investigate some of the other crime scenes. See what you can find.
I don't like that.
No?
You know. I like more other stuff. I don't like to see that poor people.
Sadly, sometimes in our job we do things that we do not like. There are things you see that will stick with you. But when you have good company, it makes it easier.
Yeah. Uh, Wait, can you give me a
Yeah.
second?
He goes over to the door of the
Just
office and just kind of has his hand on the knob, looks like he's gonna open it.
um Elaine, you're here.
Been listening.
So this is a memory, or do you can take my body right now and talk to him? I mean, if you can, this isn't a memory.
I don't know what I would say. I don't. I do know if we step through that door, there's a good chance we're going to end up somewhere else.
I don't want to go.
Well, you heard the warning. We can't stay here.
This can't be real. Okay, so I'm going to follow him again.
He steps to the door. You can see him look back to you, gives a slight smile. Well, I'm hungry. Are you hungry?
Uh, I'm not that hungry.
Well, then that's more for me. And he shuts, oh, well, doesn't shut the door, but he steps to the side to let you through.
We have to walk,
I don't want to.
but we have to. Staying here isn't healthy.
I know, but this is why I like it. I can't go back again to this madness. I'm good here. I'm happy here.
So it looks like I'm fighting you on this one then. We have to walk. And I'm trying to move the legs.
I would say in this strange situation, both can roll, and like I said before, if you want, you can roll an additional die at the risk of sanity.
I'm just gonna roll one.
Okay, yeah, me too.
You both rolled 5.
Yeah.
I will let you two decide what happens out of
So she takes control of my body and starts to walk through the door.
Leaving. We leaving, man. We're going.
Please don't.
We have to. It's not healthy to live
Yeah,
in memory.
we have to. Yeah, I understand.
And we are walking through the door.
You exit the room. We will go back to Odin. You feel your vision fading in and out, but consciousness comes back to you. We're going to take a look at the harm rules.
Oh,
Go
good
ahead
lord.
and roll 1d6.
Poor Otis, man. He can't catch a break. 6.
6. In that case, you wake up. Your eyes flicker open. You can feel yourself hanging down on your not seat belt, but it is a seat belt. You can feel the strap across your chest. You feel a sharp stabbing pain in your side. You do take another point of damage.
Man, Otis is gonna die here, huh?
You see in front of you, you're tilted downwards at an angle, and you see a shattered desk and smooth wood floors and books scattered everywhere.
Hmm? Is this the library from before?
Make an investigation check.
5?
5. It is. It's
Uh-oh.
You can tell that it's been through some fire and wreckage. You can see the bookshelves shattered everywhere from your impact. But it is.
I'm gonna unbuckle my seatbelt then.
All right. You stumble and slide down the cockpit, hitting the edge. You're a few feet off of the ground of the library now.
Can I, like, crawl my way down?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You're
do that and start
free.
looking for Benny.
You look around. You don't see anyone else here. You hear a familiar sound in the distance. It's not close by, but it's the repeating sound of a flat cannon firing in bursts and then stopping, and then bursts again and stopping.
Otis is just gonna, I guess, keep wandering around looking. He'll call out for Ben a couple times, and then Santiago. See if he can get out of the library or if it's just destroyed.
The library is a wreck. You see books strewn all over the place, none that you recognize. You see the window, the grand glass window, is completely shattered. You can see that now that all the bookshelves are knocked over, you can see the doorway that you had previously come in before, and another one on the opposite side of the room.
I'm gonna go in the one that I'd come in before.
Okay. You exit the library and find yourself standing on a white beach. The sky is a brilliant blue. You see Benjamin just standing a couple feet ahead of you.
Benny?
What? Otis? I. Yeah, good to see you again. That the library was quite a trip.
Otis looks. I'm assuming he looks like he was just in a plane crash.
Yeah, no, you're definitely torn up. You've got blood dripping from your side.
Like, did those like shadow figurey things in the library like half the library on you? You look terrible.
I crashed a plane.
You crashed.
Again.
You crashed a plane in the library. Like I know the window no turned from the dragon art into the plane art, but where did you
I
get a real plane?
I went through a door. I found Santiago in a church. I went through another door and I was in a tarmac that was like mine but not. I found Byron. I found my own plane, the lead web. And then I got in the plane and we took off and I got shot down again. And then I woke up in the library.
Oh dear. I suppose that popping noise I've heard in that library was something to do with a nothing to do with
That
the
was
bell.
probably the flak cannons that, shot me.
Oh, it's worse than I thought. And I thought seeing the whole library, including the person at the desk, just shift was bad. Huh.
So, this is special. Um, I think I'm gonna sit down for a little bit.
Uh,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
don't know where Santiago is anymore. Last time I checked, he was in a funeral.
that ain't good. I mean, I'm trying to maintain my sanity as best as I can. I mean, a lot of this makes good book material, but that big explosion and almost being flattened by a bookcase is making me feel really unsafe.
You, you don't say.
Yeah,
Otis is
Kevin.
probably just gonna like face plant in the sand and just sit there for a second.
Oh, no, really. Really, like I saw a nice woman slowly shift into like a man in a jacket like yours that's yours with bullet holes, dude. It's 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 still kind of messing me up
Oh,
thinking about it.
I I did see that reminds me. You know the guy in the photo? Yeah, he was a scientist on the fake tarmac with my plane. Same with the guy at the funeral that Santiago was at. So, we have some connecting whatever the hell for your book. It's whoever the hell this is.
So so this house, this strange house, is probably the memories of this single individual throughout his life.
I bet you it's the boy, the child.
Yeah, it probably is.
Because it was his birthday, and then I bet you he grew up, and like his dad died or something. No, the boy's name was Joey, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, his name is Joey.
The guy at the funeral was something else, I forgot.
Well, maybe that's out of order. Maybe the funeral was for the guy in question, as Joey presumably died in that military scene you went through.
Um,
That's my theory.
yeah, I'd believe it. Anyways, you wouldn't happen to have bandages or something, would you?
No, no, I think it was made abundantly clear everything I had on me was waterlogged and ruined when we first came to this accursed island.
I don't know if you found something. I found my plane.
No, I mean I haven't even taken a good look at this beach yet.
It's a beach. Whatever. We should find, I forgot his name. Santiago, and try and get off this godforsaken place before I bleed out.
There is the sound of a pop and a thud. And both of you make an investigation check.
Oh boy. 3.
5.
5. Otis only hears this sound. It's a familiar sound. Benjamin, you see up the beach a ways a streak come from the sky and smack into the sand. The sand puffs up, and then there's this quick explosion of black, and it looks like black powder just explodes away from it.
Benjamin just walks words in shock and like, is that like gunpowder? Or...
You
Otis
hear
just has 1,000-yard stare. He looks very done with this.
you hear another pop, and you see it again. It's a black streak and a thud. You can see, seems like it's a few feet closer than the last one. The black smoke pops, and the shape in the smoke is weird. It's like an explosion that delays for a second, and something else takes form before blowing apart.
Yeah, honestly, think Benjamin probably would not really connect the dots on some hidden figure within the smoke.
Otis, as you lie or sit in the sand, you feel wet underneath you.
I look down.
You see water starting to bubble up from the sand underneath you.
That's weird. I'm going to shift away from it.
You step up and away, and you see the sand just kind of sinking. And as you step away, you watch the footprints where you step sink, and a pool of water rises up from underneath it. You see in the distance another pop, whiz, thud, poof. And then again, pop, whiz, thud, poof. As flak shells strike the beach and explode. One at a time, every few seconds, every few feet closer.
We need to get out of here.
I guess the only way out for what we see so far is through the library wreckage, huh?
As you look, you find that the beach stretches forwards and backwards, and that there's a forest on your right side, a little cliff, and massive trees reaching hundreds of feet tall, and no door in the nearby vicinity.
Benjamin notices that cliff looks so familiar to the same one that we saw at the beginning of this month, where he just goes to his knees and just says, "I hate it here."
Oh boy. Otis is just gonna start running towards the woods.
Take off towards the woods. You hear the pop whiz. You can see a shape forming in that smoke cloud. It's there for a second, then it blows apart, step by step, shot by shot, moving closer and closer. You feel the water squishing under your feet as you scrabble up towards the cliff. Make a check to see how easy it is for you to get at that cliff.
Oh boy. 1. I ain't going nowhere.
You scrabble at it, but the rock falls apart in your hand. You see it turn to dust and then water droplets on the ground.
I guess depending on how close the flak is, I might just take cover.
It seems like it's 60 or so feet off. Just
Then I'm
moving
just
towards
gonna
you.
keep trying to get up the cliff.
Okay. Benjamin, what are you doing?
I believe I follow Otis and see him trying to climb up this cliff.
All right. What are you guys going to do then? You have some moments before it arrives.
I'm gonna try and boost Benny up.
Thanks.
Go ahead and make your rolls.
Yippee.
I got 3.
Double
2
3s.
3s. You are able to boost him up, and he scrabbles at the top, and you give him a shove, and he gets one of his arms up, and then the earth starts to crumble, and he tumbles backwards.
You old fart, just get a grip on it.
These rocks are not staying put with me. Yes, Benjamin is trying even harder to grab onto something at the top of the cliff.
Make another check.
Can I make another boosting?
Sure.
Oh, heck yeah, I got 6.
Another 3.
6 and 3. You boost him up on your shoulders, and this time, Benjamin, you're able to get your arms up on it and grab a hold of a root. And with his help, he pushes you up. You scramble up, kicking back. You accidentally clack him in one of the shoulders, and he stumbles backwards a little bit. Looking back, you can see now another puff of flak fire, the shrapnel spreading out. It's only 30 or so feet away. You can see just this humanoid shape in the smoke. Every shot, it's like a film being played in slow motion, frame by frame, where it's stop motion towards you, continuing to walk. You see with every flash, fire starts to pop off and then disappear. And then at another one, there's what looks to be like a limb that looks like part of the cockpit, twisted and formed into an arm that then shatters apart too. And as it continues to move towards you, you can see more and more definition on its features as it moves closer.
Benny, just go. Just go. I'll follow the ridge. I'll try and find an easier way up. I'm going to start running down the beach away from the thing. Hopefully staying towards the rockier bits and less so the sand.
Okay.
Yeah, Benjamin just kind of books it away from the upcoming smoke.
Okay. Into the woods or following Otis?
Probably into the woods.
Okay. You book it off into the woods. Otis, you tear off away from this creature, this phantom of terror. We're going to go back to Santiago and Elaine. You step through the door and find yourself in a small room. It looks to be no more than 10 by 10 feet. There's a man sitting over a radio set, hurriedly scratching down notes on his hand. There's a small window above him. You can see some trees through it. What are you two doing?
Do I recognize the room as something I've seen?
Make an investigation or a memory check.
Why did I know you were going to say that? 4.
4?
Mm-hmm.
You do not recognize the room, but you recognize the equipment. It's broadcasting equipment. In the past, you had done some radio broadcasting to the military men overseas, and you recognize that's some very familiar equipment, long-distance transceivers or transmitters.
Awesome. Cool. Do I recognize the dude?
You do. It's an elderly gentleman. He's got darkish hair, gray beard. You recognize him as the man in the photo, the grandfather who apparently was Benjamin. He's hurriedly writing down some notes. He quickly flicks switches on the radio, looks back behind him for a second, doesn't seem to notice you, and then looks back to his notes.
All right. What do you think we should do here, Santiago?
Well, I don't recognize him, so maybe now is your memory or something to do with you.
Exactly a memory. The equipment in the room is familiar, but I don't know the room. I do know that man looks a lot like the man in the photo from the living room with the kids. Maybe I should talk to him.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, go talk with him.
I will walk further into the room and try to get his attention.
As you step forward, you feel the room shake like a massive weight has been placed on top of it. You see dust poof and then fall off the equipment. He stops moving and just sits. And you can see his face go pale. And then you hear a shifting, brushing sound as something moves across the top of the room.
Sound good?
The man doesn't seem to notice you. He stares up in panic, moving his head with the sound of the brushing. You watch him suddenly turn sharply as a shape comes and blots out the window. No eyes, a mass of feathers, and bony jaws. Its head blocking out the entire view, cocked to the side.
Oh my gosh.
The shape sits there for a second before its feathers flare out, changing from red to yellow to green, and then lifting up. And you can feel the pressure on the roof as there's this massive whooshing sound, and then the sound of a crashing in the distance. The man remains tense, but slowly sits back in his seat.
Santiago, that's the same creature from before. The bird that ate Stubbs.
I know, but maybe if we don't move, he's not going to attack us.
Uh,
No, forget it. We shall run out of here.
But what if this is important?
Wait, there is any door around the room?
Only the door you came in through.
Okay.
Do we see any...
So
Hold on. Do we see any name tags or identification on the man?
Roll an investigation check.
Will do. I do believe my brain is connecting some dots here, Normal.
Find out.
3.
You don't see any name tags, any names printed on anything. I do want to see one. The only thing that catches your eyes is a large map on one side of the wall. I'll go ahead and shoot that to the Roll20 because I can actually use the Roll20 for this. It's dark, a grayscale map. You can see it looks like it was written with pencil, marking out different locations. You can see the cluster of towns, the beach where you started, other elements that you don't recognize.
There's the dots.
What was that?
I said, yep, there's the dots. Alright, yeah, I think we can get out of here now. My brain has collected the information I was looking for.
The man turns suddenly and stands up. What did you do? Is that one yours?
My eyes widen. What is what mine?
It was fine, and then you showed up, and that's here. Is this one yours? And how is that yours?
It's not. I have just as much idea of how it got here as you.
He turns and grabs a pistol off the table and turns to you. I have half a mind to shoot you. Things were fine, and now look what you've done.
Deja vu. Gunpoint. Whoa. Calm down. Nobody needs to shoot anyone.
The man throws his chair to the side and moves on you as if to raise his gun and pull the trigger. And he prepares to, and you feel a cold wind behind you and an omen pulling at the back of your head as if you just missed as if you missed the moment of your death. And you can feel the pressure leave the room, and the man just falls backwards, the gun falling from his hands. He puts his hand up to his heart. You can see him panting heavily, and tears start to well from his eyes.
I am in shock. Don't really know what to do, and I'm slightly wondering if he's having a heart attack.
You hear a small, quiet voice in the back of your head. Otis, you should have left.
Well, that's not good. Santiago, I think we should probably book it out of here.
Wait, uh, did you say something?
We should probably get out of here.
Out of where?
Out of this room. Through the door.
Do you see what I am seeing?
Yes.
What? I don't see any door other than that we came through here. And this place seems good.
No, this place seems pretty dangerous. I think we should probably go back through the door we came in.
Well, I don't see nothing. Are you okay?
Did you not hear?
No.
Ugh.
Well, if you feel that this is dangerous, we can go, but I don't see any problem.
Can I take the map?
Yeah, it's a large map. There's like a sheet of glass over the front of it. So you can see that they put in there a while back.
All right. I'm gonna attempt to take it.
Have at it. Make a 1d6, and just make a 1d6.
That makes me nervous. Oh.
Well, you smack your hand onto the glass. You feel it sting. Not enough to cause permanent damage, but the glass seems very durable.
Is there still a pistol on the ground?
There is. You can see the man just. He's no longer holding his heart. All the panic and fear seem to have left him. He's just weeping on the ground, curled up.
I'm gonna shoot the glass.
Go ahead.
All right, I pick up the pistol off the ground. I shoot the glass in one of the corners, attempting to keep the map as intact as possible.
The glass cracks, breaks. It doesn't shatter and fly apart, but you see that you can pull it apart now. The durability of it has been reduced.
All right, pull the glass apart, take the map.
As you reach up to pull the glass apart, you can see your face reflected in it. You can see Santiago's face reflected. You can see a young man with dark hair. You see Lear's face reflected in it.
I shut my eyes quickly and continue to disassemble the glass to get the map, not wanting to relive all the horrors.
You grab the map, you're able to pull it out easily enough.
So now we have a map. I think we should try to find the others.
Yeah, we should. Hey, wait. Don't you think that this place is weird? I don't mean where our body is. I mean our mind. I wasn't here for a moment. Now I can see it, and yeah, it's dangerous, but I was in another place. Like, different. Uh, does this happen to you too?
At this point, I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna go try to find the others. The only door is the one we came in through.
Yes.
Looks like that's the way we're going then.
You reach your hand out, grab a hold of the knob, and you feel all the muscles in your arm tighten. You feel pressure on the back of your head as if there's a hand gripping your neck. Santiago, you feel pressure along your side as if someone is pushing you. You hear this voice, which has become familiar over the past who knows how long it's been. I can't stay here. And you feel this pulling pressure. Elaine, I'm going to need you to make a combat roll, which would be 1d6.
Oh no. Don't want to make a combat roll. Oh, heck yeah. 6.
6 and a 5. What do you do to resist?
Resist the pulling?
Yeah. It feels like there's a hand at the back of your neck pulling hard.
I kick my foot backwards at the same time as I lean forward to, if there is something behind me that is actually physical, attempt to kick it at the same time as pull my head away while it's disoriented.
Okay. You feel the weight on the back of your head. Stop pulling, and immediately it's a downward pressure as you feel like you and something else are falling forward. Santiago, you stop feeling this pull on your side, and instead you feel this weight, as if all the weight of your chest was falling down to your feet. And then you feel as if something just knocked you in the side of the head. Elaine, you hit the ground hard and can feel it underneath your feet. Santiago, you hear a voice in your head. You have enough room for me, right? I can't stay here.
Do I recognize the voice?
It's roll an investigation check. 4. You can tell that it is the voice that has been talking to you since you've entered the house.
Okay.
We don't need her. We can go.
Then
She'll be fine. She'll just fade away with the rest of them. We can go.
who are you?
I'm a survivor. I just want to go.
Who?
My name is Van Adams. I've lived on this island for the last, I don't know how long, and I need to go. We need to go. Elaine.
So you know what this is? You know this island?
Yes. I know how to get out of here. We can find your friends, and then we can all go together.
Does Elaine hears this voice too?
Elaine does not. And Santiago, as you cast a look down, you see a person lying on the ground there.
I'm going to check if I recognize that person.
It's not a hard check, as you put a bullet in her a couple days ago.
Oh.
Elaine, you find yourself foggy. Things are weird. The nerve endings in your skin are prickly and feel disjointed. It feels like at any moment your nerves could snap and you wouldn't feel anything. But you can feel concrete underneath your hands. You can feel firm ground underneath your knees.
What is this? We gotta get out of this place.
And for the first time in a while, Santiago, you hear Elaine's voice with your ears and not your mind.
Do you hear that voice too? Elaine?
Around in bewilderment, can I see anything through,
Yeah.
can I see anything?
You see a small 10 by 10 room, a man huddled crying on the ground, radio equipment behind him, broken glass everywhere, a shattered frame on the wall.
The only thing I hear is you and the crying.
So listen, maybe you were right. In your investigations, I don't know why I just hear this guy. I forgot the name, but he's telling me that he knows what is this island and what is going on, and he wants room for him. I don't know what it means. Maybe he wants to take a place in my head, as you did. Should we let him in?
Do you think your mind can support that?
I don't know. I don't know if I can even just say, hey, yeah, you can get in. I don't know how that works. I wish I knew. What this could be. The, those salty memories and stage doesn't seem weird to you, as if they were telling a story to us.
Well, there's definitely a story. The things are definitely connecting and fast.
Okay, so fast check. First it was the phone.
Yeah, and do you
Okay,
remember
so
the name the phone was asking for?
he's it was a professor.
Van Adams.
Yeah. Now, then we got into the all of this is foggy, but then I remember all of the Benjamin house as a kid.
No, you're saying
They
the things that you saying they happened. It is a little fuzzy, but they happened. What do we do now?
yeah. Maybe if we can just tell how the story was, we can, I don't know, get out of here or maybe let him in my mind. Okay, so there's this kid who wants to celebrate his birthday, right? Now, this kid grow up and he was enlisted to the army, right? He knew us or me and he wanted just to talk. He was very, I don't know how to say it, a good person. It was nice to talk with him. And then this was his funeral. So, the, this guy who was in the same room as us one moment ago was him too.
I think it's unclear at this point who's who, but no, the choice is only yours as to whether you let this guy in your head and what that does.
Yeah, but how?
I think it would be as easy as a yes or a no. But if you're going to say no, we have to get out of here.
No, I'm going to say yes.
All right.
Um, Hey, I forgot your name, you know. Um, the voice in my head. Do you want to get in still?
I'm not getting out.
Just tell me if you have any idea of what is going on.
Things were going fine. Just we were doing all right, and then showed up and things went all wrong, and I panicked. I left him, and I can't stay here.
Yeah, we can't stay here. So, do you want to come with us?
I know how we can get away.
How?
We'll be safe. There's a tower on the other end of the island. If we go there, they can't get to us. I'll be safe inside of you. And from there, we just need more people, and we'll be fine.
We knew a few guys. Maybe you need more help of them. I mean, not in my head. Real people.
Yeah. Your friends, they can help us, right?
Do you know them?
No.
So, how do you know that they were my friends?
Because they were with you, and no one comes to this island alone.
Well, yeah, but just tell me. You were so I have seen a kid, a middle-aged man, and a funeral. You were any of those guys? I know that they didn't have your name, but maybe you could be one of them. The kid was Joey. The funeral guy was.
I can't think. Don't know. I just can't stay here. If I stay,
Yeah, I got that. Yep, you can come with us. You know, you can be safe with us.
okay, thank you.
So, how do we escape out here?
If we go, I don't know how you guys got here. I don't know if you've had help, but if we can find your friends, and if we can get to the other side of the island, I can get us out of here. I don't know everything. I can't go over there myself. With that, we are going to go back to Otis and Benjamin. As you two are running for your lives. The shots firing behind you do not grow closer, but they don't grow further away either. We'll start with Otis. What are you doing at this moment?
I'm running along the cliff trying to find an area I could get up by myself.
As you run, make an investigation check.
One.
1. You don't see anything. It's a solid cliff, a long beach, and as far as you run, you don't find any way up. There's no break in the path.
Then I suppose I just keep running till I can't.
Continue to run. Eventually, you watch as the beach narrows and thins until you've run out of beach. The cliff continues on, but now you stand at the water's edge.
Then I suppose I'm making a last try for the cliff.
Go ahead and roll a dice.
1. Good old snake eyes.
You scramble. You try and grab your way up the cliff, and it all breaks beneath you. And as you slip, you feel your feet sink not into sand but into water, and you continue to sink down and down and down. You look around you. You are surrounded by sea in all directions. And you can look and see in the distance approaching. Puff of black, a shape taking a step, fire billowing out in a flash, forming metal forming hands blowing apart. It approaches you. Make a sanity check for me.
Oh boy. A 2.
2. How do you keep your wits in this moment?
Despite it all, not necessarily the weirdest thing I've seen today. And, when you're already this far insane, something like this isn't gonna tip you over.
You hold on to that sense of survival, that sense of not solemnity, I guess a little bit of comfort. You can see it approaching. Is there anything you want to do as it comes closer?
I suppose, I guess just pray under my breath.
You sit there praying. You watch as it gets within 10 or so feet from you. You can see the metal warp together for a second. It flashes and doesn't dissipate, instead rhythmically separating and reattaching itself back together. You watch as fire curls, flickering under the surface of the water, wrapping around it. It is the embodiment of a wreck sinking into the sea, blowing apart and coming back together forever and ever. And it stands there, watching. You can feel the heat radiating off of it, little splinters of the water going back and forth. Is there anything? How would you react to this?
I guess I'm just kind of standing there watching it. waiting to see what its next move is?
We're gonna go to Benjamin. You're running for your life. The trees loom above you. You hear the sound of the shots fading. What are you thinking as you run? What are you doing as you run?
Honestly, I'm hyperfixating on being away from the blast.
Mm. Make an investigation check for me.
A 7.
7. As you're running, desperate, get away, you see a strange gray blocky shape off to your left in the distance.
I couldn't help but to walk a bit closer to look at this shape.
You see a small concrete shack. It's just sitting out there. A metal door into it.
Benjamin takes a deep breath while putting his hands on the door swing. Well, here we go again, as he attempts to open the door.
All right. You pull it open. Santiago and Elaine, you feel this influx of weight as water pours in on you. A crushing weight throwing you back. How would you react to this?
Take in as much air as possible.
I'm trying to swim.
Otis, you feel a sucking as if you are being pulled down a vortex. There's a swirl of water. You watch as this entity of AA fire watches and follows. It shoots like a shot towards you. A hand spreading apart into long, thin fragments, each finger turning into 1,000 shots as it reaches towards you. I want you to make a check for me. Roll off of its combat. Roll a combat check.
Oh boy.
So you feel thousands of needles slam into your right shoulder. You watch as this particulate arm grasps you and crushes, and you see this metal frame head, fire billowing from its mouth as it comes down to latch onto your neck, and the water sucks you down, and the creature, you feel yourself being pulled away from it and flung far. There's a final flash of flame as the particulate shatters apart. I would like you to roll 2d6. These are two separate hit chances.
All right. A 2 and a 1.
2 and a 1. You manage to avoid the brunt of the blast. You can feel pain in your right shoulder, but you are familiar with pain. You've been living it for a long time. You can tell that this isn't fatal. You feel your vision darken and then you slam hard on the ground. Benjamin, you watch as a gush of water splashes out from this door, and a shape thuds, rolls, and slams hard against a tree. Santiago and Elaine, you feel yourselves being pushed and pulled and swung around and flung back, crashing into the back wall. And then you feel the water recede and empty.
Well, what does Benjamin see you past the door?
Looking inside, you see a small room, 10 by 10, completely waterlogged. A set of radio equipment completely ruined. And two people lying crumpled on the other side of the room.
Benjamin walks in and say, hey, you two, are you okay in there?
I would like Santiago and Elaine to both roll hit dice, please.
Lovely.
Who?
1.
Ale, I believe you're good, right? Have you taken any hits before? No.
No.
Well, in that case, you will take one. No, wait, one's... No, yes. No, one's safe. Never mind. Ariel, had you taken damage before?
I don't think so.
In that case, you will take a hit. You feel like there's a bone somewhere in your back. Not a back itself, but possibly a rib has broken.
Lovely.
But you two are awake. You see Benjamin standing before you. What are you all doing?
Let's do it before I ask if they're okay.
What was that?
I ask if they were okay or not.
I mean, I'm likely coughing a little bit. And I'm like, ouch. Not really.
Things just keep happening on this island. You can step out of there if you need.
Oh, it's you.
Well, Santiago, how'd you get here?
Oh, how did you get here?
I turned one way. I find myself back on the beach while hearing like a mysterious fire and black smoke. I ran all the way here with Otis helping me up the cliff again, ran back in the woods, and then I found this here metal shack.
Oh, and where is he?
I think after he helped me up the cliff, he just ran the other way.
Oh, we need to search for him.
Yeah.
Look, I probably know what is going
You
on.
do?
Well, I don't, but a guy I met says that knows. So we have to get to the other side of the island and search for a tower.
Ugh.
He said that if we get here, I mean there, we are. Wait, the plan goes there. I don't know much else. And I don't know how to ask him again. Oh, but it's good to see you again.
Good to see you again, too.
With you all making your reacquaintances, we're going to go to Otis. You find yourself waking up. Your eyes hurt. Your whole body hurts. And everything is quiet around you.
I suppose I'm standing up and trying to get a grasp on my surroundings.
You stand up and looking around, you find yourself in a clearing. There's several buildings behind you. You can see trees looming on all sides, except for one. Off ahead of you, the trees seem to disappear.
Then I'm heading that way, assuming my legs work.
They're sore. You feel exhausted, as if you've been running all day and all night and all day again. As you step through the clearing towards the edge of the tree line, well, I'll let you react. Because as you look out and see, spread out before you is what looks to be the remainder of the island. It narrows out and sits hundreds of feet below you as you look down the sheer face of a massive cliff. Looking left and right, you see that it cuts across the edge of the island, bisecting it in half. And the view is spectacular. You can look and see everything.
I think he's just gonna take a moment of peace to sit down, get his bearings, see if he can see anything from up here of notice.
Alright. We're going to go ahead and end our episode there. We'll come back, pick up with you next week. Once again, thank you to everyone for playing and everyone for listening. Hope you've had fun and have a good rest of your evening, night, morning, whatever time it is for you. Take care.
Thank you all for listening to our special one-shot in the month of October. We hope you have been enjoying this mini campaign. Don't forget that you can listen to the podcast on the Agent Journey Podcast website, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Links will be in the description below. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. You can support the podcast on Patreon and join our Discord. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.